Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're doing well. So, we're going to be working on some glass Easter eggs today. I'm going to make some for our kids this morning, hopefully, making some real quick. We might be able to just get started real quickly. I don't think they're going to take too long. I wanted to quickly do a quick 420 celebration as well. Happy 420 to all of you out there, 420ers. Making sure the microphone's working. All right, so let me just get a few things put away here. And we're about to get started. So yesterday we had snow here in Albuquerque. All of the Easter celebrations pretty much got canceled. I know there was a few places that went indoor, so that was pretty nice, but the few spots that we planned to go to for Easter egg hunting yesterday, they were all canceled. We showed up and no one was there. It was snowing though. I was like, yeah, we'll go see. But I was thinking, well, maybe if we show up and no one's there, maybe they would just like distribute like eggs to those who show up, just to give a few to the kids or something. I don't know. Maybe they rescheduled for today. Maybe it's gonna happen today instead of yesterday. I'm not sure. But there's another Easter egg hunt that's coming up. I think it's starting about 9:15, 9:45, which is pretty much right now. I don't think we're gonna go because it's too wet and too cold out still. So we're just gonna hang out and do a little Easter celebration here. And got the Easter baskets all ready and set up. Now let's make some Easter eggs here. All right, so give me a minute, and that way I can put all this stuff away here. Got the whole 420 celebration going. You know, that one was pretty good. Let me do that again. I'll put all the rest of these away. Oh, that one needs a lid. All right, that's this one. That one's okay. Okay, oh, it's time. All right. Gotta wait a minute to let it cool down. Oh, check out the pigeon up there. All right, let's bring you guys back down to the porch here, and let's get started. Let's get our glasses on here real quick. Oh, and check these out. Recently made a bunch of these. Amanita mushrooms. And then, of course, we got the tiniest one in the world right there. Here, we'll just put that. We'll put that right there. Hold on a sec. Got a little dusty yesterday. All right, here we'll put one next to the regular size right there. That one's pretty big. Here, let's put it next to one that's just a normal size pendant. All right, let's go. Hey, what's going on, Austin? So happy Easter. So you got the bunnies up and the golden egg. You know, I went over to and the mushrooms. Yes, I went over to the Dollar Tree where we normally get our plastic eggs, and they were all sold out. I wanted to get some golden eggs so we can put them in the. I'm gonna make some of these glass eggs today, and we're just gonna put them out in plastic eggs. I'll probably put my YouTube channel up for people to be able to find us here. Maybe my Facebook as well. But definitely want to get people over here to YouTube. All right, using the fiber, the Norwex microfiber cloth there. So every year for, I don't know, since like 2018, yeah, about 2017, 2018, we've started putting out the plastic Easter eggs and then putting the drop of water in there. And then we'd put a note, water's life, every drop counts. You found, congratulations, you found the drop of water. Or I think it was like, congratulations, you found the drop of water, water's life, every drop counts. And then we would put the Facebook page, facebook.com/the drop of water. And so we, me and my daughter, we'd go out and we'd hide eggs. For years and years and years, we've done this. And we just hide eggs. Many years ago, like over 10 years ago, actually, when I was with my daughter's mother, we were driving up and down. Well, we weren't driving up and down. We were just driving along Central Avenue, which here in Albuquerque is known as Route 66. And as we were driving along, I'm pretty sure she was driving and I was looking out, or maybe it was vice versa. I don't remember. But one of us noticed there were some eggs, like plastic eggs at different. I was like, wait, I think I saw one of those. And then we drove again, like another block or so up, and then we saw another plastic egg, like hidden on top of like a doorway, like where you'd have to reach up to get it. It's like someone put it up there on purpose. Like it's Easter weekend. And so we actually turned around, went around the corner, came back, and we found these eggs that someone had. I think they were just like they were like hollow eggs that you couldn't crack open. I don't know. Maybe they were rocks that were shaped like eggs or something. I don't remember exactly, but they called them smegs, like some eggs, but smegs, and then apostrophe and then MEGGS. And so yeah, so we thought that was really cool. We started looking around for more smegs, and I think we found like a total of 3, maybe 4 of them. And yeah, from there I started like I don't know, years later, decided I wanted to bring that back kind of in a way, but put the drop of water in there. And that way we had the message of water is life, every drop counts, which was really good for springtime, and talking about water. Um, World Water Day is celebrated um, on March 22nd. And then we have Earth Day, which is April 22nd usually. And so yeah, talking about the earth and talking about the water, it all goes hand in hand. So this year I decided I'm just going to make some crystal eggs because I think a crystal egg, to find a crystal egg inside of a plastic little plastic egg, I mean, would be really cool. It's too bad that I don't have all the golden eggs that I used to have. And I wasn't able to go find any. I might be able to drive around still today as we're hiding them, and maybe we can like stop at a couple places and find a few golden eggs. Maybe there'll be a few places that still have some eggs available. But I only went to one Dollar Tree yesterday and it was sold out. I didn't go anywhere else looking. I was like, yeah, it's all right. I know we have a bunch of plastic eggs here at home. All right, so right now I'm basically just working on making an egg. We're going to do a crystal egg. I don't know how big I want to go. I was thinking for my kids, I might make these a little bit bigger than the ones we're going to. So probably the ones that we're going to give out is about that size, about an inch, something like that. So the drop of water is basically this here. It's not a water droplet encased in glass. It's just a teardrop. It's just a clear piece of glass. It has a loop on it. They're about an inch and a quarter big, I guess, and they represent water. I've made 3,000. Well, I've made thousands of these, but I've made and gifted out 3,872 of these so far to individual water protectors, those who went to Standing Rock, those who went to different actions and protests, those who have, just helped out in many different ways with protecting water, um, standing up for water, going to different meetings, legislative sessions, being a part of the Water is Life movement, basically. And yes, the drop of water, it's a clear droplet of glass that has a logo. You can find our logo at facebook.com/ the drop of water. And you'll see the logo there. Now, I used to own the dropofwater.com and I messed up bad during COVID. I got sidetracked and wasn't paying attention to emails and stuff. Things weren't really going on during that time, and I wasn't really paying attention. And I completely forgot that my domain name would expire over the course of a year. And I didn't look at my emails for a while until like I don't know if it was a month or two after it already expired. And I was like, wait a minute, did I lose it? Like I went to go check it, and my website was not my website anymore. You can go to thedropofwater.com right now, and I think it belongs to China, and it's some sort of a sports gambling website or something. I don't know what it is now. So that's sad, but it's okay because the drop of water still exists through Facebook, and I simply I've done as much as I can do with making these and gifting them out, but I will continuously make and gift out the drop of water to those who honor water, protect water, those who make it a part of their life, their daily life, their daily ritual. Um, those who go to clean up areas of water, those who are part of cleanup crews with the ocean, riverbeds, lakes, ponds, things like that. You know, there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved with becoming a water protector. You don't have to be so, you don't have to be an activist and a protester. You can simply just make sure that you yourself are trying to use like clean, uh, environmentally friendly cleaning products, products for your body, for your home. Um, just making sure that you are being, uh, you know, responsible in your own ways, trying to do your best with keeping your own water supply clean. Whatever's going down into your plumbing, making sure you're not dumping a bunch of bleach and Pine Sol, Windex, Ajax, all that kind of stuff down into the water supply because, eventually that's going to go into our water supply. And yeah, they do their best to clean it out, but guaranteed there's going to be some residual, um, there's residuals from the chemicals and everything that's in there. All right, so these ones here I'm making kind of big because these ones are for my kids, but the next couple that I'll be making it just give away, they won't be as big. And also, I forgot I got the stove going and we're boiling some eggs right now so we can color some Easter eggs. So I'm not really worried about going to the Easter egg hunt today. If we make it, we make it. But at this point, we'd have to leave like right now in order to get there at the 9:45 start time for the crafting portion. So they're going to be coloring bags. But we don't need to do that because we got Easter baskets. We don't need to color paper bags. But that would be fun. So I don't know. Our son's still asleep. And our daughter's still asleep as well. So we're not trying to rush anyone to wake up or anything like that. But I do need to go check on these eggs here in a second. All right. So what I'm doing is I've just been gathering this glass rod here. It's a 16 millimeter glass rod that I've just been spinning in the flame here, and we're making a really really good sized one here. The bigger one will probably go to my daughter, being that she's older, and I don't know which one's going to become bigger or smaller or what. Oh, that's beautiful that you're also a water protector, Austin. I see. We try to protect our outdoors and water in our daily adventures. And keep in mind, use water like you're camping in every use. Right. That's exactly like what it is. It's when you're camping, you're supposed to camp out what you camp in, right? So you don't want to be leaving any sort of pollutant or anything like that behind, right? I just realized I'm gonna have to use my marble holder here. This is kind of like making a marble. I forgot. I'm not gonna be able to really grab this thing. So let me make sure that the punchy is all nice and clean. Yeah, I checked out your channel actually, Austin, and I saw your adventures, your outdoor adventures, and then I saw that you just have like a few videos up of the glass. I believe a couple of I think your first one was just recently with experimenting or doing glass live. I didn't get the opportunity to watch a full video yet, but I will. That's beautiful. Use water like you're camping every day. That's a beautiful phrase. It's a beautiful mindset. You know, if everyone thought of that, if everyone realized that, the water, yeah, like it's kind of like trash too, like people, once it goes out down to plumbing, it's out of sight, out of mind, like the trash, once a trash man comes and takes your trash away to the landfill, it's out of sight, out of mind. But, we're creating a big old refuge pile somewhere on this planet. And also when we're using all the chemicals and all the different things, you know, cleaning products for our homes, for our bodies especially, those kind of things are really harmful. They have the PFAs, the forever chemicals, and so yeah. So we use the drop of water here. So as a glass blower of 30 years, back in 2017, well, 2016, I started making the drop of water, and by 2017, we started gifting them out. And then that's when it became like this big old world adventure, and we've gifted out water drops to people from all over the world, um, celebrities, just individuals who were there at Standing Rock, there at different actions and protests, people who did different things, So, and many of those individuals, 3,872 individuals so far, that I've been able to keep track of. That doesn't include individuals who purchase the drop of water and then gift it on their own behalf. There's individuals, different groups, organizations who have also gifted out the drop of water, and I don't know how many they've done at that point. So I just know we're at 3,872 that I've been able to keep track of. And many of those are associated with an individual story that was shared from that water protector. So it's a very beautiful thing that just happened to become. It was like, I don't know. I feel like it was bestowed upon me. I heard a calling. I heard a message and started making the drop of water when Standing Rock was going on, and we just continued making them without realizing why or what we were doing with them, and then it became a gifting ceremony that expanded out around the world. So yeah, I've gifted out 3,872 of the drop of water, but then we've gifted out other things, and Like today, we're about to make some of these eggs here and gift out some beautiful crystal eggs. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this more pointy towards the end here, bigger at the end over here, and come down to a point. And then we're going to pop it off right into that hole there, and hopefully I can hold it up. I'm just like, oh man, how am I going to do this? Can I actually grab it with this? I'm worried if I try to grab it with this, it's just going to slip right out. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a bigger marble mold, so I'm really concerned now. I grab it like this. Let's see if I can make this happen. Hopefully it doesn't pop out. And then I can just set it right in the marble mold, hopefully. As long as it doesn't move, as long as this marble or whatever it's called, this ball holder. Just got to get rid of the punchy mark on the bottom. Get it nice and clean. And there's a beautiful crystal egg right there. I'm gonna let that cool down for a second before I put it in the mold here. Or, well, not the mold, I guess it's a marble mold. I don't know. We're not molding anything. We kind of use it to help round things out. All right, let's see if I can get this to stand up. All right, cool. Well, there's one. So that should cool down here in a moment, and then I'll drop it over to that side so it doesn't roll off the table. We'll make another one here. Oh, I missed all kinds of comments here. When I get water from my faucet, I picture having carried it up a mountain in a bottle, in a water bottle. I only have 32 ounces to use for the day. You know what I've learned is depending on your body weight, because everyone weighs a different amount, so you need a different amount of water. A bigger individual will need more water compared to like a baby, a small child, adolescent, and then an adult. We all need different amounts of water. It's not just straight up 1 gallon of water per day per person, like some people say. 32 ounces is probably pretty good for yourself, depending on your own body weight. What my rule of thumb has always been is you take your body weight. So let's say you weigh 150 pounds. You divide that in half, which is 75, right? And then 75 ounces of water is what you would want to drink if you're 150 pounds. And then if you do like a lot more exercise, you're hiking, if you're working on the roof, you're up in the heat, things like that, you're out doing yard work, doing landscaping, then you'd probably want to take in a little bit more water. But that's been my rule of thumb, and it seems to be pretty good. Oh, okay. So you're needing to do new videos. Those videos were released late. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to see some new videos. Your studio was in your home in clandestine, but also released an old video of a carport setup. Now in a shed. It's so windy. Okay, yeah, I remember working in a shed too. Do what you can, right? Doing a bunch of stash and find giveaways, but been discouraged when I get zero response. Yeah, I'm not here to even try to get a response. I don't even care if anyone responds back that they found them. There were years when I would just put the water drop in the eggs, and we didn't have a note. Like you just found it, and that was it. Whoever found it, they didn't know where it came from. There was like it was just anonymous, you know. But I did a glass giveaway last fall, and that seemed to spike a lot of my subscribers. And also because I've just made my first 1K, my first 1,000 subscribers, and so we were celebrating, and so I did a big old glass giveaway for that. Yeah, but sometimes you don't get a response at all. Oh, okay. Your idea of gifting them to people that are taking care of the earth, I was thinking it would be cool to have a glass giveaway in pieces of trash. So somebody that would pick up the trash, then they would find it, right? So check this out. Actually, right before COVID, like literally, because it all got shut down around March 13th of what, 2020? Did they shut us down like right away? 2019, they found out that it was going on in December, and I think by 2020 of March, they shut everything down. And we, I was getting partnered up with another company here that you can find on Facebook. They're called New Mexico Treasure Hunt, and they basically just have a bunch of silver coin that they put somewhere, and they take a picture of it, and then you can recognize the background or whatever, and maybe where what like they hide it in a tree, they hide it on a bench, they hide it somewhere, right? And then it say if you find it, it's yours. And they have a bunch of people who are following them on Facebook, and then people they find it and then they post up, I found it, and then others are still like looking for it, and then they get there and like, oh, we just missed it, or you know so we were going to do this thing with them, New Mexico treasure hunts, and we were going to have because every year around World Water Day, which is March 22nd, we were going to do our annual cleanup. Where like I used to go, and now that we got a vehicle again, I'll probably start this up again. But we used to go every Sunday and pick up trash along the river here, the Rio Grande River, which in that area is known as the Bosque. And so we'd walk around in the trails along the Bosque and along the riverbed, and we'd find trash and we'd just pick it up. If we can reach it in the river, floating cans, floating plastic bottles, and things like that, we would take it out the water and we'd pick it up. So every year I would invite people around World Water Day to come and join me. And if they did, I would just gift them a water drop for coming out and spending hours picking up trash, and I would encourage them, if you brought me a whole trash bag full of trash, then I would exchange that at the end of the day for the drop of water. And so that's one of the things that we've done with the drop of water. And we were going to do this thing called trash for treasure, where you'd go looking for trash, but then you'd also find coins that were hidden by New Mexico treasure hunts. And we were on the news. We had a big old promo going for it. It was going to be huge. We were going to have like over 100 people or more there, and then they shut us down for COVID, and they said gatherings of 100 or more people weren't allowed, and then they shut it down to gatherings of 50 or more weren't allowed, and we just couldn't do it. I wanted to do it still. I was like, well, screw it. Like, if anyone comes out to look for trash, they're just looking for trash. And if I just happen to see them with a full bag of trash, I'll just gift them the drop of water. But I'm not all about following rules as best as I can. Some rules are stupid and should be they should be broken or contested, definitely. But yeah, that's a good idea that you have as well, because we had it as well years ago and we never restarted it. Things are still just barely getting into the swing of stuff. People are still walking around wearing masks, still believing in taking the jab or not, and whatever it is that people want to believe is their own personal journey here on Earth, and I wish them the very best on their way. However they want to do it is how they want to do it. But there's information out there that will let you know what's really going on with things. So, and I can't say too much because I could get in trouble for medical misguidance or whatever. So I don't say too much about those things anymore. We just talk about glass. But yeah, it's a really good idea. I just wish that it didn't get shut down by everything during those times. Oh, so they were doing that in Santa Monica, huh? With close up videos, cleaning up streets. Yeah, no, that I think that would be really cool. Is to reward people who are actually like really taking the time. Those who are organizing it, especially. Oh, let me go. I'll be right back. I gotta go check on the eggs. They're boiling. They're done. I almost fell came in. I almost fell as I was walking through. All right. So what else did you say? Yeah, it would be cool to just put something like that, right? Easter eggs, plastic Easter eggs are really good for hiding things along the trail. Someone's gonna find it, even any time during the year. And I found these really cool water, not water, um, seashell shaped like Easter eggs during Easter. They have these different shaped ones, and so you can get different ones and then hide those throughout the year. The I really would love to find those the shells. They were white seashells, and we could hide the drop of water in those year round. But yeah, let me make another one. My daughter actually is awake now, and we just got to wait for our son to wake up. And that event is starting right now, so I don't think we're going. Yeah, and there's no worries. Like I said, we're gonna still do Easter. So yeah, doing giveaways are awesome, but you know what I've learned is, I don't do giveaways. Like I don't do anything really expecting a lot back. Like when I'm giving things away, I give to give, not in order to receive, and uh, and so that way it is what it is. I'm not expecting anything, so there is no letdown. You know. So the normal eggs that I'm going to be making are going to be really quick and easy. We're just going to round them up like this and get the bottoms all round, and then just pull them. So the ones that we're giving away, they're not really going to be like too crazy or anything. Just be something like that, and then pull it, and then it'll just be like a little egg compared to that one, which is like. But it takes a moment to actually to gather the glass to get it all to that size and that shaping. But yeah, I think so too. I think it's a great frequency to be able to have that. And, yeah, if I'm going to give something, I don't expect anything back. But at the same time, like I said, I've gifted out 3,872 of the drop of water, but I have not been able to keep track of how many have been sold. Because at first there were so many sold, and like now, some are sold here and there, but in the beginning, like it was the amount sold definitely was not covering or wasn't more than the amount being gifted. We were gifting out way more than we were selling. I think it was like 18 were gifted for every one that was sold or something like that at first. And now, I don't know, like it's every few are sold and every few are gifted. And I'm just, this is my art. This is my work. This is what I make with my own hands. And so I can continuously just make as many of these as I want and gift as many of these as I like, you know, and then that way at the same time, it allows me the ability to talk about water and why water is important and why drinking clean water is important and having a good filtration system at your home is important. And, and just taking care of the water. Water is life. Every drop counts. And then I have this saying, that, when you always remember that we are all made of water, right? On a cellular level, our cells are 90% water. Our bodies are 60 to 80% water, maybe 60 to 90%, depending on how much water you take in or that you drink or consume daily. Depending on if you live by the ocean, if you're always in the water compared to someone who lives in the desert. Everyone's got a different amount of water in their body. Every body has a different amount of water. But on the cellular level, we're about 90% water there. So we are mostly water and 10% matter. And when you think about that, that means that we are all water. We are all water drops, right? We are all drops of water in this vast ocean of life. Water is life. Every drop counts. We are all water drops. Every drop counts. So that's my saying, and that's, what I've been doing since 2016. I started making them, when I was invited to the Gathering of Nations powwow in April 2017, which Gathering Nations powwow is actually coming up again. A lot of people don't go because they're connected with Wells Fargo, which helped to fund a lot of the oil pipelines that people are fighting against. And then also they say how the person who runs the Gathering of Nations, how apparently he might not be a native card holder, so they say he can't prove that he's a native, or it's that that's a hard thing, because there's some tribes that they weren't given that sort of a sovereign inclusion through the nation. Not all nations in this land are able to be recognized on a federal level, and people don't understand that or realize that. There's some natives here that they don't have any land anymore. They have no claim to land, and they also don't have any sort of like card that says that they're from this tribe or that tribe or whatever. And then also, a lot of individuals forget that this land used to be a part of basically what's known as Latin America, right? All the Latinos. So Latin America, that covers a lot of the ground of all the other Americas, the Central Americas, the Southern Americas. And a lot of people forget that this land used to not have any borders, and it was all connected through those ways as well. So there are many tribes that belong here, but yet don't have any proof of their tribal existence and things like that. So it gets kind of weird in those ways. So I don't know if the individual who runs the Gathering Nation, if he's native or not native, if he's as native as I am or not, and can't really show or prove any which way, because it could be like that too, or people are saying, well, he can't prove it because he doesn't have an ID or any way, because maybe he belongs to a different tribe or a different nation or something that isn't able to. My wife is like that as well. All I know is that on my mother's side we're Mexican, and on my father's side we're Spanish. So I have a great divide within my whole within my own existence, being Spaniard and native all at once. But I was personally born an Aquarian, which makes me the water bearer. And none of this was done on purpose. I heard a calling of someone invited me to be part of a silent auction that was going to help raise money for Standing Rock. That was during November of 2016. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to make? What am I going to enter into the silent auction that they could just sell something and try to make as much money as I can with something, right? So I thought, well, maybe I make like a something to drink out of, like being about water. You could drink water out of a cup, but the cup was going to be like have a stemware, like like a wine glass. that would then I was thinking I was gonna put like some kind of water theme in the middle of it, like maybe a water drop or maybe some sort of waves or water something. I didn't really know what I was gonna make, and then I got this like clear message in my head that just said, make something that represents water that you can replicate over and over again. And the symbol of a simple clear teardrop shaped glass water drop came to mind. And I was like, wait, you mean just a necklace, but without anything in it? No mushroom, no spiral, no color, no nothing. Just a piece of clear glass, just plain glass, but that represents water. So I started making them, and I started making them in cobalt blue. And then I realized when you go inside indoors, the cobalt blue is so dark that it looks black. And that black, to me at that time, it represented the oil that we were finding in the water. And I didn't want to represent the oil in the water. I wanted to represent clean drinking water. So then we switched from the cobalt blue water drops to clear water drops, which then, for me as a glass blower, made it more affordable for me to just make these because clear glass costs a lot less than color glass. And then I realized just how beautiful they looked when I made them. And just, clear glass in the sunlight is just so elegant. Clear glass in any sort of light, it's just, there's a beauty to it, there's elegance that, I don't know, it's like no other. It's beautiful. I'm just taking off this point again. We're just going to round this tip here, give it that egg shape again, and hopefully I can grab it with my tool just like I did before. This other one should be cool enough that might be able to just, yeah, look at that. Look at that beauty. So now I'll just put that over here to the side. I can even just put it right here and make sure it ain't going nowhere. Can't even see it. It's so clear. It's so beautiful. We'll just round out this tip. You see how it's too much of a point. Hopefully I didn't boil those eggs too much. I lost track. I was like, oh, I was supposed to go do that 10 minutes in. All right, we're just going to round this down. Get it all nice and smooth. I'm just going to keep heating that heat on there to make sure that it all flows with the whole rest of the body of it, so there isn't any kind of weird dent or bump or any sort of weird curvature on the end there. And then just let it fall naturally to give it that beautiful shape there. Woo, look at that. That's a beauty right there. And just let it cool for a moment. That way I don't put any sort of tool marks in there. We preheat this so this is warm. It doesn't shock it at all. Being that it's clear glass, I really don't believe I need to kiln these. They're a little big, but as you see, that one cooled down just fine. Nothing, no cracking, nothing. So they should be okay. Clear glass, it doesn't have as much stress compared to when you start adding layers of clear glass on top of clear glass. You trap air bubbles. You start adding layers of color onto clear. That's when you really need to bring the kiln in, and you definitely have to kiln things at that point. But when you're dealing with just clear glass, usually you don't have to worry about it at all. Okay, hopefully we can do this again gently. If I squeeze too tight, it can slide this way or that way. So I got to be real careful with that. All right, should be okay. Just got to clean up the punchy mark. All right, that should be good. I just want to make sure it's nice and rounded, all beautiful. All right, there you go. There's another one right there for you. So we'll put that right here. Whoa. All right. It didn't fall off. That's good. We just won't touch it. All right. Let's make some normal size ones. These ones are going to be the ones we're going to give away. Well, I guess all of these are ones we're giving away. But these are the ones that we're going to do for the Albuquerque glass crystal egg hunt. It's not any sort of event or anything. It's just something I'm doing. If you find it, it's yours, right? I might write a few handwritten notes that say, "Find me at the Glassman's World" on YouTube. All right, so there's a little bit of some stuff on the side. I was like, do I want to just leave it and not worry about it, or am I going to take it off? And I think I'm going to take it off. That way it's nice and clean and clear. But that just means it adds a little bit more time to this one here. Because now we have to shape it round again. But that's all right. That's going to make it look a lot better. All right, so we probably already would have been done with the rounding. We would have been doing the flame cutting. At this point, I still need to round this up some. It's got a little indentation where I wiped that stuff clear. I'm trying to get rid of that. All right, I think we're about there. All right, so basically these are going to be like the same size as the drop of water. It would be like making the water drop here. So we just round out a 16 millimeter just a little bit, about a millimeter or so on each side. Maybe half a millimeter or so. It's not really that thick after I'm done making them. Now the question is, being that these are a lot smaller, am I going to be able to grab them with my tool and heat them up the same without my tool getting too hot, being that close to the flame to get rid of the punchy mark? All right, so basically it would be like pulling the loop at this point for the drop of water, but we're just going to turn this into a little crystal egg here. Happy Easter once again to everyone out there watching. All right, here goes the first one for the little glass egg hunt we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna try to cut this without wasting too much glass. I don't want to waste too much every time. All right, we'll bring that one down later. And I want to get this onto here actually. All right. And we just pull this a few times here. Bring it down. I think that's good. I'll just use the flame to round it. Nice. And there's the first one for the egg hunt. Beautiful. There you go. All right. So it's a good size, I'd say about the size of my thumbnail, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, the trick is, can we get it off of here? Can we get this off yet, or is this going to be too hot? That's still really hot. We made that one so fast. That one's not even cool, but I need to get it off. Okay, we're going to try to just put it over here. All right, good. Now we'll see if I can even grab this little thing with this here. I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I just got to clean up the punchy, though. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. As long as I can clean it up. There we go. Let it cool down a sec so I don't accidentally indent it into the edges of the mold here. And we'll just let this one cool. Beautiful. That fits perfect like a little nest. Awesome. All right. Let's make a couple more. By the time we make this one, that one should cool down. It's not as big, so it shouldn't have as much heat. All right. Now let's do the timer, guys. 106.37. Let's see how long this takes. So it's just as simple as just rounding this up, making the drop of water, basically. Just making a teardrop shape, pulling it off. If we left it with a point, then it would be a water drop. But we're rounding it down and leaving it as an egg. So in glass blowing, you can make things that are very similar to one another and they look the same. It's just depending on how you make the outcome of it. You can make this with either the drop of water or you can even make it an egg, real simple. All right, this will be number 2 for the egg hide or egg find. And I don't know how many I'm gonna be able to make today. We're gonna be coloring eggs while the kids are coloring eggs. I'll probably just be sitting in here making some of these. All right, so that one was a lot quicker because I didn't have to wipe off anything. I just got to make sure every time I have a good puntee to hold it. And I was really surprised that my claw holder or ball grabber or whatever, my hand tool, I was really surprised that actually was able to grab this little egg here. All right. So what are you guys doing for Easter? Are you guys celebrating Easter? Do you do the Easter egg hunts? Do you just go to church? I know I have a lot of friends who are in church right now. I thought about maybe going, but I knew my family would want to sleep in. Our son was sick last weekend, and then my wife got sick, and then I was a little bit sick. So, we didn't have so much energy. I figured everyone probably would rather want to sleep in and rest. We're missing an Easter egg hunt right now, but that's okay because we can do our own in a little while. All right, here goes number 2. So we're basically just going to take some of these eggs, and I might even go get some more jelly beans. Well, I don't know. Actually, we probably shouldn't do that because if it gets too hot, they'll get all sticky. We'll just leave it with the glass. So we're just going to get some of these, and we're going to put some of these glass eggs into here. And then we're going to go hide them around Albuquerque. And I think I'll put, maybe I'll even write on the egg itself. I don't know. I'll write somewhere the drop of water, or sorry, no. Where are we right now? The glass man's world. We were talking about the drop of water though, and we may even hide some of the water drops today as well. You know, to keep our yearly water drop find going as well. All right, I gotta hug it gently. If I make my tool too tight, it can snap or slide off. Oh, like that. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe I could just grab it with this tool. All right. I might be able to just grab it like this. That might be a little bit better. Still scary though. But I can clean up the punchy mark just like that. And is that one cold to touch? It's warm. All right, so this is the size of them. About that small, you know, in my hand, about an inch. We can even get the calipers out here and we can measure it. So that's at like a little bit under at 8 point, what is it? Like at 90.90. So a little under an inch. This one's still warm. It's like, you want to play some real hot potato? The little glass potato. So, and then we're just going to do this and pop this, boom, in there, and one in there, and call it a day. Except this one is actually going in there. The bigger one. I'll add some candy. That one should be. Ooh, that one's still warm. Wow. That one's still really, really warm. That one's super hot potato right there. I'm gonna clean up my fingerprints there, and we're gonna just drop it into the egg here. All right, here we go. It didn't burn my hand, so it's not gonna melt the plastic. But you definitely don't want to put a chocolate in there right now. All right, so those ones are ready. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. These ones are going in our kids. All right, I'm back. So I just hid those in the Easter basket, and we'll make a couple more. So this is the first one right here. Now I just need to get some more Easter eggs. Oh, I think we got some. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Okay, so the trick is now is finding a few of these that we can just place the egg in, and then that'll be one ready to go. Yeah, let's put them far away, and then we'll make sure that they don't melt. Okay, and the trick is going to be trying to find more. I may have to wait and then take some from my kids' baskets when after they open them. All right, we got a couple though. These ones are empty. Oh, that one's all huge. That's it. I'm done. That's all that I can find. Well, that one's it. Ooh, that one fit. Got another one. So we got three. Okay. And then all the rest are bottoms. And then one big old top. And that doesn't work. All right. So like I said, we got a few. We got three more. We got this one. So we'll make two more. And then we'll call it a day. It's already been over an hour. Well, let's make a couple more. So happy Easter once again to everyone just tuning in and watching. I'm Dan the Glassman. This is the Glassman's World. We're making glass or crystal eggs for Easter. You know what I may do? So we need to make what, two more clear ones? And then what I may do is on the last one, I may add a little bit of color. Just a little something special. For those of you who are watching, stick around to the very end if you want to see some color added to the very last egg. What we may do is we might even do a little silver fuming on the last glass egg and do a little pattern drawing and stuff like that. Not really sure. All right, so we just round this up, and then we'll punchy it up real quick. And then we'll just make another egg, just like that one right there, a little tiny egg. Maybe we should do a giveaway. Maybe we'll do the last one. We'll design it, something a little special. And maybe we'll do a giveaway. How would we do that? We can have everyone who's watching this video comment below after the live stream is ended. Make sure you comment on the video. And just comment crystal egg. And then we'll do a giveaway. We'll enter your name. We'll enter to win. We'll do another random wheel spin. We'll have your name entered on the spinner. And if only one or two people are entered, then that's all that, and that'll be it. I don't get too many people watching my videos, so it's highly likely that you'll win. So just comment below, crystal egg. And you can use all caps if you like. I'm not all weird about that. People are like, no caps, no caps. Quit yelling. Quit yelling at people. It's like you're typing. You can't yell at people when you're typing. That's what exclamation points are for. All right, so we're gonna let this cool down, and then we're just gonna grab it and try to snap it off without dropping it off the table or anything. Oh yeah, and there's the tiniest glass pendant in the world with a amanita mushroom, the tiniest one in the world right there. Compared to a regular size one, you can see it right there. I don't know if anyone can make one smaller. I would love to see it. All right. Okay, this is kind of scary. Woo, all right, I got a good grip of it. I feel confident with it like this. All right, and then you just round out that punny mark right there, and bam, there's another one. This one's nice and cool. All right, we drop that one in like that. And there's another one. We'll put in the plastic egg right there. Ta-da! And then, like I said, we might write some notes, a little note for each one that says the Glassman's World on YouTube, or just put, the Glassman's World backslash YouTube, or youtube.com backslash the Glassman's World, however it works. All right, we got one more to make for the 2 eggs that I have here, but that doesn't mean that that's all I'm going to make and hide today around Albuquerque. And I'm not sure where I'm going to hide these. You know what would be really fun is actually making it to that Easter egg hunt, which starts in like 15 minutes. And if I can hide one of these among their eggs over there, that would be cool. But I don't see that happening. I got to get breakfast going here soon for the family. All right, one more crystal egg. Here we go, guys. So this is actually borosilicate glass. It's not crystal, but I'm just calling them crystal eggs because, you know, when you find a glass egg, what are you going to call it? It's like, oh, I found a crystal egg. All clear. Well, maybe some people might call it a glass egg, right? I don't know. Kind of like the crystal skulls. All right, so then we just get that all nice and heat it. Round it up. So this is the bottom here where it's rounded up like that, and then the top, I pull it down to a point. You know, when I'm flame cutting and pulling it off, it just generally goes to that point. So when I make my eggs, I do it that way. Some people might put the top up there and then put the bottom, make the bottom a little bigger first and then cut it off. Everyone's got their own way and their own style of making glass. But this is the Gardeno glass way. The glassman's world. This is the way how I do it here. Just got to add that punchy to where it's all nice and straight, you know, and then that way you can basically just let go of it, you know, and just hold on to it real gentle so you don't snap it off. Wait until the glass gets molten and then you start to pull it and you can shape it again. So I guess we lost Austin, and then Witchy Bitchy was in earlier, said that she would be looking forward to this, and I don't know what happened with Witchy Bitchy. We've had a few others pop in. I appreciate all my viewers coming in and watching. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you all. All right, so like I said, we're just going to bring this one to a point here. And we'll melt this down a little bit so it's ready to go for the next one. That way it doesn't take too long to heat it up. It'll just be pretty much ready to start to gather on itself. All right, I'll put that there. And that way it keeps it elevated from so it doesn't touch anything over there that's dirty or dusty. And I'll have to clean it off every time. And then I'm going to see, can I do this without having to pull it every time and clean it up? Can I just round it back down to that shape and not waste any glass at all? Looks like we're about there. Nice. Beautiful. So I didn't cut any of that or pull any of that off. Didn't waste any glass on that one there. All right, so now we just got to wait for it to cool down so it's not glowing hot before we touch it with the tool here. Preheat this so it doesn't, make sure it's just not cold to the touch. grab it solid, snap it off, clean up the punchy. Make sure you don't touch the tools in the flame. You want to keep your tools away from the flame, or keep the flame away from the tools so it doesn't heat up and melt to the glass on the side. Take that one out real quick. Let that cool off a little bit so it doesn't get an indentation. And pop it in right there. And is that one ready to go? Feels like it. It's warm, but it's not going to melt the plastic. All right, so we got another egg for you. Let's pop this one off. Oh, that one's got a different bottom there. That one's a little bit different. We might have to change that one out. That one might be a special egg. I got to look for the top to that one. It actually has a satin finish on the bottom there. So we got to, maybe it's, might be one of my son's favorites. So we might change out that bottom for a different one here. All right. So that one's all done. So now what I'm saying, let's see, do we have everything we need to make this happen? There's actually silver on there too. Okay. So we're going to do a designer egg here. And this is the one that we're going to give away, guys. And we're going to keep it simple. Nothing too fancy. Nothing all like a Fabergé egg and all crazy ridiculous. We'll make it all nice. It'll still look beautiful. Maybe we'll do 2 giveaways. Maybe we'll do a clear one, like we've been making and giving away, just a regular one, and then we'll do a special one here as well. Just remember to comment below on this video. And also be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Usually my giveaways are open to my subscribers only, but usually my subscribers are the ones who watch, so I don't have to worry about that. And if anyone else comes in and they win some glass, I'm pretty sure they would subscribe. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna heat this up. We're gonna get this to a pretty good shape here, good size. This is gonna be a little bit bigger. This is for the giveaway. After this live stream, just comment on the video below. Crystal egg, and you can use all caps if you want. It'll make your comment stand out. I heard a door. I don't know if my son's awake. If so, there's going to be some excitement. I might have to go. I didn't hear anything. I don't know if he'd run over here and be like, the Easter Bunny came. I'm hearing doors open, guys. I don't know if my son's awake. All right, well, make sure you comment below. I'm going to try to make this quickly here. Let's see if we can do this. You know, I was thinking actually before, going to round up the top a little bit. So I'm just going to pull it to give it that egg shape here, because I'm going to fume it and I don't want to then stretch out all the design and everything up top. So I'm going to pre-pull it just a little bit. So I don't want to thin it out too much because I need the stability so it doesn't bend and get all weird and wonky when I'm heating it up. And do something like that. So then it's stretched out, but still has some good stability there. So then I can draw that design on and not stretch it out too much. All right. That should be all nice and set up. That's the cool thing about borosilicate glass, is it sets up. It's not like soft glass where it stays like taffy for a few minutes at a time. All right, now we're going to go into fuming, guys. So the fuming process, what that is we have a piece of silver on here, and we're going to put it in the flame. We're going to evaporate the silver basically onto the surface of the glass. We have to pre-warm the glass so that way it can actually accept the silver onto it. So I'm going to preheat this here. Get it all nice and warm. As you can see, it's all glowing about that same glow all the way throughout the whole thing. A nice consistent glow. Not too hot on any end or anything like that. Not too hot in the middle. Good glow. And we get the flame. Bring it down just some. Make it a little bit softer there. We're going to heat up this here. This has got some silver on it, which can pop off. So I'm going to try to bounce it in and out of the flame until we can get that metal warm and the glass around it warm too. And then it's going to start to fume, basically evaporate off. And we should be able to get some color from that. It's trying to retreat back underneath the glass. There we go. I just had to pull it out. All right, so now this is going to fume it. It's going to give it like a metallic luster to it. And that's really why the fan is going, is because of that kind of work and stuff. But now you can see it's no longer clear, but it's got that like metallic sheen to it. Now we're just going to get our drawing line here. We're just going to draw some pattern on it. Just something random. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go with the zigzag pattern down the center here. basic Easter egg pattern. Try to match that line up at the end if we can. Pretty close. All right. We'll add some dots in those waves. Instead of dots, I'm going with some elongated lines on top. Do something a little different. We'll go with some dots in between those. We'll finish up the top with a dot pattern here. We'll try to end it with a dot on top. We go with the opposite wave pattern and basically surround the dots there. We've got 5 dots on the bottom. All right, so there it is. That's the one we're going to give away right there. I'm just going to melt it all out. Make it all nice and smooth. I could actually keep it textured. That would be really nice and cool. Now I got to decide. Keep it textured or round it smooth. I got to decide now. There's no one on live right now to help me decide this. Smooth or textured. I would say comment now, but no one's here. I don't know. Making it round would be good. You know, then it's going to look like it's all hand painted and everything with the silver. Yeah, I'm just going to round it out. So this is going to take a moment to just round it all down and get all that glass to become one again, all smooth on the surface. Not using any sort of tools or anything to help round it. We're just letting gravity and the torch do its work. All right, and we are almost 2 hours in. Hopefully we'll be able to finish this within 13 minutes and at least cut this 2 hours. I try to keep my feeds an hour or less, but that's always impossible for me, especially when I'm doing live glass blowing. So I apologize for the long stream here, guys, but I do appreciate those of you who stuck with me all the way through this whole thing. If you've watched this all the way through from beginning to end, give yourself a shout out below. Maybe something will come your way as well. I do believe that we can see in the analytics and the stats who watches, how long people have been watching, and things like that. So I believe there is a way to verify that as well, but yeah, let me know in the comments below. You've been here the whole way through? You definitely got to give yourself a shout out. All right, we're almost done here with this. Just rounding it up as best we can. Getting it all nice and smooth again takes time. I used to do marbles and round them by hand, and they took a long time compared to just rounding them on a mold. But making an oval shape in a round mold is not so easy. So just rounding these down is the best. Letting the flame do all the work and gravity, the rotation, the spinning, the consistency of the spin and the motion, keeping it all staying within the flow. All right, that bottom's looking good now. Now we're working in the center and towards the top here. Oh, I hear the kitties meowing now. Why are they meowing? I hear others are waking up in the bedrooms. Okay. So now I just got to round off this tip here. And hopefully I put a dot perfectly in the bottom. That way I can put the punchy there. And I'm hoping that I got that perfectly lined up. And I can just round up the top here. I think I got that all rounded on the bottom. It looks pretty good. You never really know until you feel it. So sometimes it's better to just make sure. I just go over this whole bottom here real quick and just do a little flame polishing to it and make sure it's all nice and rounded everywhere. As a glass blower, when you have the didymium glasses on for dye protection, you can see through the flame, so then you can really see the shadows and the different like bumps and dots and different things when you add onto the glass, and you can really see the way the light reflects off of it and everything, the flame, when it finally gets nice and smooth compared to when there's like glass still like sticking up and popping up. You can really see that um, on the outer surface of it, when you're rounding it and you're spinning it and you're looking at it, you can see the bumps up top compared to the bottom. That's really, really nice and smooth. All right, now let's hope that we can get this puntee directly onto that dot that I put on the bottom. That way we don't mess up any of the pattern work here. All right, hopefully I got it right on that dot. Looks like it. And then we're just going to flame cut this off the top here. I could spiral it up. That would actually look really cool. And give it a really cool little finish up on top here. We'll give it a nice little clockwise spiral. So when you're looking down on it, it'll be kind of clockwise there. All right, and we're going to take this off. And get that real soft again. So we're going to go with the spin here. As we take this off, we're going to flame cut it. Take it off with that spiral. Bam. All right. So now there's a point right there. We're going to get rid of that point. Round it all down. And that'll give us the opportunity to round up the top now with all those other little dots and bumps. And then I just want to make sure that I'm allowing it to, when it melts, I don't want to gather it and make it round it. So I want to keep it elongated. I got to keep the angle of the glass more with my hand up above the work that I'm doing, so it all falls downward and allows it to create that point, that shape there. I'll round that out a little bit more, make it more egg shaped and as pointy as it is there. And I believe all the dots are now rounded. We're just going to hit it up on top really well and make sure everything from the center, the middle of it, all the way up to the top is all nice and smooth. And that everything is just flowing all good together. So I don't know, we lost Austin earlier. We had a good conversation going for a minute. And we lost Witchy Bishy right away. Not sure what happened. All right, we're almost done with this one. So this is for the giveaway. If you've been watching, then you know what to do. All right, we're almost done with this here. And we're going to end it. We are right under 2 hours, which I was hoping to finish this within an hour. That is a beautiful shape. It's got a nice point. It's actually a little pointy, but I really like it. That is really nice. Okay, so now taking it off, I'm just going to risk taking it off with my tweezers here, and hopefully we don't drop it at all. That's always the scariest part. Okay, and then this should be cool enough. We'll put that one in the last Easter egg that we're gonna go hide here in a little while. Okay, here we go. Bam. It's so much more nerve-wracking than it really is. All right, let me just heat this up. Make sure that we melt down the punty mark here. And try not to heat it up too much and get rid of any of the pattern or anything like that. Make sure we're not heating up the tool and melting it to the Easter egg here. And wow, I don't know if you can see those patterns. That came out really, really cool. It's got dots on the bottom, little spiral up top. All right. So that one is for the giveaway. We will do later on after Easter, of course, because it's not going to get to you by today. So if you've been watching, you know what to do. If you'd like to enter to win that drawing, and let's put the last one in. Let's get this egg over here. So these are the ones that we're going to be hiding in the plastic eggs all around Albuquerque today. Well, not all around because we don't have too many, but we're simply just going to do that. I will probably have a little note that says, find me at Happy Easter. Find me at the Glassman's World on YouTube, or just put youtube.com/the Glassman's World, right? So there you have it. There's 4 of them done and ready to be hidden around Albuquerque. So good luck if you're local and you live here. I hope you win, and I hope you find them at least. And if not, if you're not local here, well, you have the opportunity to win this one here. So just like I said, comment below, and you know what to do if you've been watching. I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful, happy Easter. The sky is a beautiful blue today. There's no more snow. It's a lot warmer than it was yesterday here in Albuquerque. It was freezing, but when I woke up this morning, it was freezing. The door was frozen shut on my car. The windows were iced, frozen. Even the trash can lids were frozen shut. It was really cold this morning at like 6 a.m. And I believe it's finally warmed up. So you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy Easter. I'll see you guys soon. Love and blessings. I'm out.